All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Going to be touching on the top prop bets today on this Thursday in MLB, WNBA, and a little bit of PGA. And so what's funny about today's board is that one of the top prop bets from yesterday was Julio Rodriguez for under his hitting fantasy score, which was part of the bet of the day yesterday, in which we used that protected play on, which was nice. But it's funny, like, he only had one hit in this game, he had one hit in this game, got pulled with only 3 at bats. But it's just kind of funny that today he's going to be the top prop bet on the board, and we can kind of see why when comparing the lines. Looking at the underdog line, they would have this closer to 7.9. The projection data would have it closer to 8.14. And then the average sportsbook line would have it set at 7.43. So across the board, this is a bet that does stand out. Same is going to be said for this next prop bet, Lewis Gill for under his pitching fantasy score, for the exact same reasons, okay? The PrizePicks line is the clear outlier data point here when we're looking at it. The underdog line would have this closer to 32.5. The projection data, 33.62. And then the average sportsbook line, 33.5. So across the board here, these two prop bets are two prop bets that to me really do stand out, and they're going to be two prop bets that we should be rolling with. Now, one that I know a lot of people are going to be iffy on, and this is going to be my next favorite one, is going to be Atone for under his hitting fantasy score. We're going to see that, again, across the board. His line that we're getting on PrizePicks seems to be the clear outlier. Now, I know a lot of people are betting on him, and I'm assuming they're betting the over just going against Colorado. And the fact that he's gotten the over the last 4 games, I'm assuming that's why he has the flame mark here. But no, the data tells us that the better bet is going to be for the under. Typically speaking, these streaks that people are on, like this crazy good streak, doesn't last. And so, yeah, I would agree with the average sportsbook line that, yeah, he's due to have some sort of regression day. It doesn't mean it has to be a bad day. So we have 3 really good pitching props, MLB prop bets right off the board, or right at the bat today. So after that, looking at the board, we're not really getting that many great prop bets. I'll go ahead and do where the data correlates. I like using this part of the tool just to make sure we're making the best bets possible each day. We're going to see that when we do that, these are the 3 best prop bets as well. And so after that, I don't know if we really need to go in on any other prop bets too much. So with that, let's actually jump on into the WNBA. We are getting a couple of good ones for PrizePicks. So we got Brianna Stewart for over her assists. That's all right. We got her for under points and rebounds. That's all right. And then I actually don't mind this one here. Mabry to get over her fantasy score at 28. Now, it's a tight line. Don't get me wrong. At 29.5, the average sportsbook line would only be giving this about a 51% chance to hit. So we don't love that aspect of it, like it's tighter. But, you look at the projection data, it would have it closer to like 32. So a slight edge there. If you guys are trying to stretch a 3-slip bet into a 4-slip bet, that might be one that I turn to. And again, typically, we don't want to just run out a 3-slip bet on PrizePicks because the payout isn't as good. So we'll jump into the PGA as well. Not getting too many great prop bets PGA-wise. If we look at it from a prop line difference, we were getting one. This Tommy Fleetwood line is certainly interesting for underdog. They started this line at 9. Now I believe it's been fluctuating between like 10 and 9.5. They don't seem to have it right. So originally I was going to say let's middle here. Let's bet the under on PrizePicks, bet the over on underdog, but we don't have to do that anymore. With that, are we getting any good edge bets for golf today? Probably not so much. I don't feel like we need to go in on these too much. I will say these fairway hit props, I probably do like a little bit more than the rest of them. But again, that would feel like we're forcing it. So really, we only have 3 good prop bets today on PrizePicks. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the PrizePicks bet of the day. Again, I'm going to include this one in here because, well, I want to make this a 4-slip bet. And I say that because I'm no longer going to be using this Tommy Fleetwood one. You guys do not have to run that out. And I say that because the underdog line has now been bumped to 10. And so with that, there's no real good chance to middle. And so with that, there's no reason to force that in there. So I wouldn't want to run out a 3-slip bet on PrizePicks. Now, what you could do is do something like this where you're betting a bunch of different bets here, like that combination, if that makes sense. I know it's weird with the screenshot drawings here, but I think that makes sense where you pair these two up together and then pair Julio Rodriguez up with Atone and then Gill up with Atone. I think that makes sense, but we're going to be running out that 4-slip bet. Again, wish we had 5 bets. Again, throughout the day, we'll probably get some better pitching fantasy score prop bets that pop up on the 9-to-5 cheat sheet. And if they do that, it's something that I would probably encourage to make it a 5-slip bet or just run those out as 2-slip bets. Again, if you guys haven't signed up for the 9 to 5 cheat sheets, head on over to 9to5sports.com. You can click on the pricings and plans tab, or plans and pricings tab. It's available for just $10 a month. Gives you access to all these great tools that you guys see each and every day in these videos. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the underdog bet of the day. And again, if you guys do use the underdog bet of the day, or want to use the bet of the day and have never signed up, use the promo code 925. And so let's just jump into the MLB. MLB wise, we are getting some good prop bets here as well. So one that I was kind of kicking myself for yesterday was Steven Kwan for, I believe that's how you say his last name, for over his hitting fantasy score. And I said because we could have paired that up with Josh, I forget, Naylor, for over his hitting fantasy score that was on the underdog bet of the day. I was kind of mad that I didn't pair that up together because, again, when we can stack hitting fantasy score, that is something that I kind of want to do. And so hopefully it's not like buyer's remorse here by jumping on it today, but this is a good prop bet on paper. Again, the projection data would have it set at 8. The average sportsbook line would have it high likelihood to get the over at 7.7. So that is a good prop bet that we're going to be chasing today. We also have Anthony Voit for over his hitting fantasy score at 7 for the exact same reasons. Again, looking at the projection data, would have it closer to 7.8. The average sportsbook line would have it closer to 8.1. And then we have William Contreras here as well for over his hitting fantasy score. Jose Altuve for over his hitting fantasy score. And this seems to be a trend that's been occurring, is that we are getting a lot better hitting fantasy score prop bets, slight edges more so on underdog compared to PrizePicks. And so I've been chasing those a little bit more on underdog. So let's go ahead and get into that underdog bet of the day as well. And so again, I do want to make this a 5-slip bet. And the next best one that we had was actually Gavin Stone for over his pitching fantasy score. And that doesn't exactly correlate too well with the Otone under fantasy score, just because that kind of decreases his likelihood to get a win if Otone is getting his under fantasy score. But still, I mean, 13's a lot, so I guess it could still correlate with him getting 10 Otone for his hitting fantasy score. But other than that, we're going to be running out those other 4 really good hitting fantasy score prop bets that we saw. This is going to be a flex slip bet on underdog. Again, we should be taking advantage of that, because if 4 out of 5 hit, we're getting 2.5x back instead of doubling up. That does add up in the long term. That can be pretty huge. That's going to be all for today's video. Make sure to give a like and subscribe, guys. If you guys want access to the tools that you saw in this video, head on over to 9to5sports.com. That's all I have for you. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Flex Friday slips and potentially some sleeper bets as well. Let me know in the comments if that is something that you guys would want as well. All right, thanks for watching, and as always, let's keep cashing.